Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone. I can see the comments buzzing and I can see the introductions coming in as well. Please let it keep coming in. Let it keep coming in. And so good evening, good afternoon, depending on our location, by the way. And it's really so good to have everyone here. This is another edition of our community office hour where we get to have like different speakers come on board to talk about different topics, right? So we have topics from ranging from technical topics down to the non-technical topics. And I think last month we had like a very special session that focused more on quant. For those of us who probably joined the session, where we had two special guest speaker come on board, talk about an application on quant and how you can also develop your skill set in data and also AI and how you can also bring that on board, right? So again, today is going to be a very special session. And before I quickly introduce who our speaker is, I'm just going to quickly introduce myself for most of us who probably know me. And for those who probably don't know who I am, so I am Oluwashon by name, and I work with the community team here at Shikoro Africa. And again, it's really so exciting to have you ladies join this session. And I want us to do something quickly, right? Although I still want to see the comment section buzzing, I still want to see your introduction, where you're joining us from, what you're looking out for, right? Because trust me, I know that the last newsletter that went out, I did get like a lot of comment from most of you talking about how you're so much interested in more like improving on your personal branding, right? And trust me, today's session is marvelous. We have like a speaker who is going to be doing justice to that. So before we actually continue, I also want to see again the comment section buzzing. I also want us to do something quickly for me. Quickly take a screenshot of this session right now, right? Quickly take a screenshot, and I want you to make a post on socials, tagging both Shikoro Africa, tagging your friends, right? So that they don't miss out on today's call. Because trust me, if you miss out on this call, I don't know what I can say, because we are going to be talking about personal brand, and trust me, you don't want to miss out on this particular conversation. So please do well to take a screenshot, share with your friends, share with your colleagues, with your loved ones that could actually benefit from today's program, right? And yeah, thank you so much, ladies. I love the fact that the comment section is buzzing. Hi, someone is saying, Dino, sorry, please forgive me. Dino is saying, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be a part of this webinar. I'm really so excited to have you here as well. I can see Kefiwi saying, hi, everyone. Hi to you as well. Okay, Dino is saying, can you please send the application for the next cohort? Again, maybe I should just point out that this is a community office hour. So I don't know the specific application that you're probably speaking about. So maybe you can give more context to that. So yeah, ladies, please do well to drop in the comment section. Let it keep buzzing. What are you looking forward to? When you hear the word personal branding, what comes to your mind when you hear personal branding? I really want to hear that in the chat box. So let me know what your thoughts are around personal brand. Is this something that you feel that, oh, okay, it feels more like you're doing a lot of packaging, right? You don't, I was in that category before I had like a change of mindset, right? When I did attend, I attended a webinar like this, right? And I had a change of mindset. So please, I'd really love to see in the chat box, when it comes to personal branding, what comes to your mind first? Do you see it as something that, oh, I'm really not interested in this because it feels more like I am packaging myself. I think that's the word I'll use. I'm packaging myself, or I'm trying to show off to people. So when you hear personal branding, what comes to your mind? I want to see the chat box buzzing again, right, ladies? Please, let's do that. So while I'm still looking forward to your responses, I also want to quickly introduce a very special guest speaker this evening or this afternoon, again, depending on your location, by the way. And I think when we were trying to get a speaker, right? And I mean, I was trying to look for who actually like who falls within this category, who do I think is eligible, right, for this particular topic that we are bringing on board, right? And I mean, I came across Benny. Oh, sorry. I came across this speaker's profile and I was like, no, 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 no. This, I'm not going to let her pass. This is actually someone that I would really, really love her to come on board, share out of her wealth of experience, how she has been able to build her personal brand, and how it has also attracted opportunities for her, maybe be it personal, be it professional wise, right? Would really want to hear from her. So yeah, before I actually bring her officially on stage, I would like to give a little bit of context to who our speaker is for this evening or for this afternoon. So please let me see the comment section buzzing, because I know this is actually someone that, trust me, I know we've heard a bit about her on our newsletter, even on our Slack community and on our socials, right? But yeah, I still would love to see the comment section buzzing. So yeah, join me as I introduce Benita, who is a marketing operations specialist, and trust me, she has like a wealth of experience, right, spanning across marketing system, data, and growth infrastructure in the global tech environment. And the funniest thing is that before she actually transitioned into marketing ops, she led the social platform growth and content distribution at one of the largest African tech publication, which I believe that most of us would know, that is Tech About. And she also holds a law degree from the University of Lagos, and also she just recently completed her studies at the Nigeria Law School. And our conventional career paths, moving between law and tech, makes her passionate about mentoring individuals navigating early to mid career transitioning, while also building a personal brand as a professional in the tech space. And ladies, my beautiful ladies, please join me as I welcome our guest speaker for this afternoon session, Benita, who would be doing justice and taking us through how we can build our personal brand so that, of course, it attracts opportunities for you and I. Hi, Benita. How are you doing this afternoon? I
Hi,
hope,
Oluwaseun.
I
Thank
mean,
you
it's
so much for thank you so much for that wonderful
yeah.
introduction. When you were introducing me, I was like, "Are you still talking about me?"
I know,
But yeah,
right? And I know
it's so
that the ladies
lovely to
are so
be here.
excited and are also looking forward to learning a lot from today's call. So I'm just going to take back seat, have my paper and biro as usual, and also just jot out some points. So please, ladies, oh, okay, I can see the comment section. Someone is even saying she's a fan of you. Oh, that's amazing. So you have a lot of fans on the call. So I would be taking the back seat and giving you the mic so that you take us through today's session. All right, over to you.
Thank you so much, Oluwaseun, for that introduction once again. For those who don't know me, my name is Benita Riagbaire. I have been a lot of things in my life, but currently I am a marketing operations specialist at Oyster HR. Oyster HR is a global unicorn startup that specializes in EOR and payroll. Right. So this is just me introducing myself. Aside from what Oluwaseun said, I was a law student at the Faculty of Law, University of Lagos, and I graduated from the faculty, went to law school, and while doing all of this, right, I also worked in tech. So if you want to connect with me on my socials, I also have them on the slides, and I would be dropping the slides after the call for those interested. So I think that I would like to start my presentation with personal branding misconceptions and things that I've heard people say that is not personal branding. So I've heard people think that personal branding is becoming an influencer or posting every day, going viral, and having like thousands of followers. And that in itself is influencing and not personal branding. And those are two different things. what really is then a personal brand? Like I actually saw a comment in the comment section, and I think that closely aligns with what I believe a personal brand is, and it's what people think of when your name comes up in a room that you are not. So, say for instance, you hear Tomike Adeoye. When you think of Tomike, for those who know her, you think family members. You know, when you think of let me use it, a TikTok sensation. When you think of Coco, you think chocolate trolls, and there are different people with their different personalities and what they are known for, right? And that's essentially what personal branding is. So, before I continue my presentation, I would like to give you guys a bit of my qualifications on why I should be the one telling a story on personal branding, right? So, first of all, I got admission into the University of Lagos, Faculty of Law, to study law around 2018. I dabbled a bit in social media and found myself as the public relations officer of my faculty at some point. And at that point, I was already known for anything social media. I mean, there was a time that we had an alumni event, and the event was quite exclusive, but I was given access to go because I knew I was known for my skills in social media, and I was going to do an event coverage for that particular event, right? So that is a bit of how my branding in marketing started. So I used to post a lot about social media on my status. A lot of my friends knew me for handling social media accounts, and as a result of that, someone recommended me for a role as a social media manager in an oil and gas firm in Lagos. And that was how I started in social media management and marketing while I was still a law student, right? From there as well, I kept posting about my work on LinkedIn. At that point, I was not an expert, but I used to post about stuff that I had learned, stuff that I was willing to learn, and events that I attend. At some point, I attended like a Shiko Dafka event. I also made a LinkedIn post about it, about everything that I learned. And then I got an opportunity. Someone reached out to me to become a social media marketing intern at a startup. And I took that opportunity. And from there, I got nominated for an award, Most Promising um, Products Marketer Award by Nuco Tech Summit. I also then started a new role leading social media marketing in Tech Cabal, that's Africa's most foremost tech publication. And while I was in Tech Cabal, everyone also knew me for my strong work ethic and, gracefulness in the company. And as a result, I was also nominated to attend a particular boot camp at the time that cost about over 1 million naira. And that was where I got the opportunity to learn about marketing operations. I think the boot camp was about 3 months to 6 months or so. My team in the cohorts graduated top of the class. And then from there, I got the opportunity to apply for the marketing operations specialist role at Oyster HR. And that's where I currently am. So I would say everything, that has led up to this moment basically ties to the fact that I had a personal brand at each and every stage of this. I was always known for something, right? Even when I wasn't necessarily posting on LinkedIn. There were times that I took a break from posting on LinkedIn, but at every point in time, people knew me for something. And as a result of this, my name came up in rooms where I was not, and opportunities. This opened doors for me, basically. So most of these opportunities came from being visible for the right thing. I would also like to differentiate between a myth and reality about personal branding. So a lot of people feel like they need to have attained a particular level of seniority to be able to start, talking about what they do, or to be able to have a personal brand. And I believe that the reality is, currently as we speak, your personal brand is already being built. The real question is, are you shaping it intentionally? So currently, as you are already known for something, right? But it would be better if you could, intentionally build your personal brand so you can be known for what exactly it is that you like to be known for. So some of the things that people remember with regards to your personal brand is how you communicate. Is she a clear communicator? Does she have communication gaps? The quality of your work, that is something that I would always advocate for. As much as you like to talk about the work as you are doing, ensure that it is top tier, it is quality, that the people that are recommending you for opportunities would be able to boast that, this is who you are, basically. Then how you show up as well. Do you show up on all days? You don't necessarily have to show up 100% all the time. There are days that you could be slow, but do you show up regardless? And what you constantly talk about. Again, I had mentioned earlier in my talk that I was obsessed with social media, so I was always talking about it. So these are some of the things people remember with regards to your personal brand. So I would like to state why visibility matters, and I am backing this up with a research by Dr. Olubamiji. I've attached her Instagram here for those that would like to go and look at it after the call. She mentioned that executives in companies have cited that visibility and relationships, not performance alone, are the primary drivers of career advancement. So even though you do great work, right, people would mostly lean towards those who are seen to do great work rather than those who just merely do the work and don't talk about it. So visibility basically creates opportunities before you need them. There have been times that, I've had people reach out to me for consulting opportunities, and like I didn't have to, go out of my comfort zone or apply for these roles. Speaking engagements as well. There have been times that people have reached out to me for mentorship rather, partnerships, community leadership roles, and even industry recognition. Right. So this is why visibility matters. It creates opportunities for you before you even know that you need them. So, based on my journey, I have identified three things that were constant, and I believe that it will be a great formula for you to apply if you are looking to build a personal brand of your own. The first is knowledge, and I use knowledge here, not expertise, for a reason, because people often confuse expertise with knowledge, right? You don't have to be the expert in the room. You don't have to be the most experienced person in the room for you to share what you know. You can share from mistakes that you've learned from. You can even share what you are currently learning. You can share how you are growing. A lot of people want to know these things, right? This knowledge that you feel like, oh, this thing is not so relevant. I don't think I'm the best person to be talking about this. There are better people, more skilled people than me that can, have conversations about this topic. But there are a lot of people that are currently stuck in places that you've been before, that would be able to learn from you. And there's also consistency. With regards to consistency, yes, there are times where you can take a break and, go back to the drawing board and, do the work and all of that stuff. But at every point in your life, you should be known for a particular thing, which is your personal brand, and you have to be consistent about it. And then accessibility, right? Basically just talk about your work in places that are accessible to a lot of people. It doesn't have to, for those who currently work here, it doesn't have to be in your C-suite exec meetings. It doesn't have to be in the meetings with team leads. You can also make your knowledge accessible to your peers, and that's by sharing on your social media. So I believe with, when you apply this formula, it opens doors for opportunities. How I created opportunities by being visible, right? So this is basically based on the fact that I have engaged in public speaking. And like I mentioned, I don't necessarily speak about being the expert in the room. I speak about my experiences as well. I share things that I've learned, being how I juggled being a law student and also working in tech and building a career in tech. I also involved myself in a lot of community and volunteering. There was a time in my life that, any tech event, I was always volunteering for it. And till date, I still have a lot of merch from tech events in my wardrobe that I haven't even worn because I volunteered for a lot of tech events. And that in itself also opened many doors. And I also leveraged relationships. And by relationships, I don't necessarily mean vertical relationships, right? It could also be horizontal relationships, relationships among your peers. I believe that some of the strongest connections that can open doors for you are relationships built by people, who are on the same level as you are. So essentially, consistency, you have to be consistently helpful, consistently sharing knowledge, engaging the tech community, building relationships, and if you have access to as well, speak in public. I'm almost at the end of my talk because I planned for this to be a very, quick one. But I would like you to take a practical challenge, pick one thing that you've learned this week. It could be anything really. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be about work. It could be about communication. It could be at home. Just pick something that you've learned this week and share it, wherever you believe that you can make the most impact. So it could be your LinkedIn if you have, considerable followers on your LinkedIn. It could be your WhatsApp status. I post a lot on my WhatsApp status. I post a lot of things that I learn and share. It doesn't have to be like a very formal post. It could even be in the form of a meme. There were times in my life that I was posting memes like uncontrollably, which still tied to the fact that I was obsessed with social media. And at the end of the day, I was still building a personal brand subconsciously. So you could pick one thing that you've learned, a lesson, a mistake, a framework that has worked for you, or it could be a career insight, and just pick any platform of yours and share this essentially. If you also, go the extra mile and tag me, I'll be sure to repost your posts as well. Thank you. This brings me to the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm sure Oluwaseun would be happy to moderate and ask these questions.
Hi, Benita. That was
Hi.
very brief. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it despite the fact that it was so brief, but it was also very impactful. And again, I want to say a very big thank you. I can see in the comment section that we do have some couple of questions tied for you, and I will be displaying that on the screen so that you can also take a look at that. So, Aisha asked the question. She said, "What if I'm in a field in which knowledge sharing, as a beginner, there isn't really okay, I think she's just trying to say that what if she's in a industry and she doesn't have much knowledge about what to share. I think that's a question. But Aisha, please, you can just reconfirm if that's what you're trying to say. Benita, do you want to speak on that, or do you think the question is a little bit confusing? Just to
Yeah, I totally understand what she means. I mean, product managers are known to be quite technical, so it's expected that as a product manager, you're supposed to be the most knowledgeable person in the room if you are speaking on things. But I like to disagree with that. As at the time I won my most promising product marketer award from NoCo Tech Summit. There was also a girl, I don't quite remember her name. I think it's Ayomide something, but if I remember, I'll let you know. That also won most promising product marketer award. And from time to time, I've seen her post, even as at the time where we won this award, I saw posts of her, taking courses, learning things that she learns from the courses that she took. And I believe she did not position herself as an expert when she was making this post, right? This even opened up to, there have been times that I've posted about things that I was learning, and it's opened up to mentorship from me. I was able to get mentorship from people who were in these spaces, right? And people who were, even willing to take a chance on me due to the fact that I showed that, I was always consistently learning and upskilling. So I believe that even being in the PM field, while you are learning certain things, there are things that, people that are equally learning like you can be able to benefit from. For instance, courses that you take, you may have experienced some challenges there, and you would basically be able to tell other people that are currently experiencing those same challenges that this is what I experienced and this is how I was able to overcome it. So I believe that regardless, you can still be able to make an impact even from a small place, if that
Yes,
makes sense.
I totally agree with the point you mentioned. I think just to confirm, I know you did mention someone name that won the product marketing of the year. Would that be Motorayo, if I'm correct?
No, no, no. Most promising products marketer. I would find the name.
Okay, maybe.
Um,
Okay.
yeah,
But then I think I could also relate with the fact that some points you did mention, I mean, in terms of me posting and positioning myself right as a thought leader in the community industry, it has also like
yeah,
opened doors for me that I cannot even begin to make mention of. And to also just add, I know I also did win the community manager of the year by Trevor this year. So I think one of the things that the judges also spoke about during the breakdown of the criteria, I mean, aside from the whole voting for who you want to select and all of the whatnot, I think one of the things she did highlight that stuck with me was the fact that they did look out for people who positioned themselves right as a thought leader, how they are willing to share back their knowledge in the maybe in the industry, maybe could be LinkedIn, whatever platform that sits well with you. And I think that since then I just felt so intentional with the fact that okay, since this is what is, I mean, this is one of the things that people look out for, I would also like try to be very, very intentional with how I tell my story, how I position myself, and all of this. So I think that's like a very interesting response. We also have another question here. I just displayed that again on the screen. Dino is saying she currently works in the HR information management, and she also has like an IT qualification, but then she feels that she's in the wrong direction and her expertise are not fully utilized. And I need to rebrand my profile, but don't know how. So, do you want to just quickly walk her through on how to do this, Benita?
yeah. So okay, sure. So if I get your question correctly, you are looking to pivot from HR information management into something else in IT because you have IT qualifications. So the very first step is to look for the particular area in IT that you'd like to, build your personal brand around. IT is like quite broad. So using your not only your skill sets, also your interest, applying your interests as well as your skill sets, you'd be able to find the exact area that you'd like to, specialize in, and then you can, make an announcement post safe on LinkedIn that you're looking to, pivot from this to that to this to that, and then you're, open for suggestions, and you can also start learning, taking courses and posting like your insights from these courses, follow thought leaders and engage with their posts as well. And gradually your page would, basically start looking more in line with the area with which you would intend to go. And I would also suggest that you attend a lot of tech conferences. So I know that these conferences open up opportunities. You are able to, be in the same room with people that you won't necessarily meet outside. So you'd be able to speak to them, network, and, basically get insights on how you can carry out this career pivots. Yes. So if you need further insights, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'll be able to, answer your questions.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, Benita is actually going to drop our LinkedIn profile. So please ladies, feel free to connect with her. Feel free to chat her up, ask her questions. I think I'll just be taking two more questions before we finally call it a wrap. So I know one of the question. Okay, let me just quickly display it on the screen again. So Elizabeth is asking a question regarding if she doesn't get enough reaction based off of the post that she makes. Maybe you want to shed more light on this.
Yeah, I totally understand like posting and not getting reactions and not getting engagements, right? But like I always say, or like one of my major thought processes when I'm carrying out, posting and doing things that have to do with me putting myself out there, is that shame. Exactly. Is the cost, or embarrassment is the cost of entry. So I know that it might be embarrassing seeing one reaction or two reactions on your post, which you worked really hard to, curate and post out there. But this is building a personal brand for you in a kind of light. It shows people that you are consistent regardless of results. You don't let results deter you, and these results can either serve as a learning point for you or a redirection, and you don't quit, and it necessarily shows like consistency, right? So I believe that it's beneficial for you for future opportunities for you to post as well. I know some people use LinkedIn as a search engine when they are looking to reach out to people for opportunities. They just search these things, right? And people that their names come up in this post, they reach out to them. So you don't necessarily have to post to be an influencer. There are people that post to be, LinkedIn influencers and stuff. But my talk is basically on how you can build a personal brand and how you can let people know that this is what you're doing and this is what you are known for. So don't let the reactions like get to you. As long as your aim is to build a personal brand to open up opportunities for you, then just keep at it and be consistent at what you're doing, essentially.
Awesome. And just to add, I think it's also good to have like a different mindset, because I think when I started posting on LinkedIn, I also fell into that category where, oh, I'm like, I just have just one like, oh, I just have just two likes or reaction. Even on Twitter, I think I just started posting on Twitter lately. And
Yeah.
trust me, I can be very shy when you just get like two reactions on your post, right? But then I decided to have like a different mindset. I really do not care if I have like two likes, if I have even zero like. I mean, as long as I like my post, that works, and I'm able to still share my thought process maybe around that specific topic, and people still see me right as a thought leader. So I think you should have like a different mindset when it comes to maybe reactions, as long as you are passing across a message and it is reaching the right audience, you're educating them. I mean, please don't have that mindset, because in the long run you might get overwhelmed and you might just lose interest in positioning yourself right. So I think this is where I just take the last question so that we don't keep our speaker here on the call for too long. So Anna is asking a question. She's saying she would like to know how she would brand herself as a beginner, since she's already in the data analyst space, and how to decide what to specialize in and how soon you can make this decision.
Okay, so you already mentioned that you would like to go into data analysis as a data analyst. So I feel like at this point, as a beginner, you should focus on trying to get as much knowledge as you can instead of specializing. Now, when I initially entered into marketing, I started from social media marketing, I became a digital marketing associate. I learned I learned how to run ads, I learned SEO, I learned content marketing. And right now I'm currently specializing in marketing operations. And what this does is that it makes me a T-shaped marketer. So I have experience across all facets of marketing, and then I'm specialized in one. And that makes you very it makes you basically be able to attract more opportunities, because people know that you have a generally wide skill set, but you are also a specialist at something. So when you are just starting out, I would advise that you basically grab all the knowledge that you can about data analysis, and before you decide to specialize in something.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Benita, for providing response to that. So I'm going to be dropping in the chat box now the link to connect with our speaker, as well as yeah, please feel free to follow her. Feel free to connect with her, send her a coffee chat, get to know her better, right? Because that way you can as well ask her questions and even see how she's even positioning herself, right, in the industry. So I want to say a very big thank you, Benita, for taking out time to join us on today's community office hour. Again, this is like the shortest call so ever. Since I've started organizing, or rather since I've started moderating office hour calls like this is like the shortest one. But the fact that it was very brief, I think I still enjoyed it because it was brief and it was very impactful. I mean, there were some points you did mention that struck my heart. I'm like, oh my god, I have to go back to the drawing board to make some changes and all of those. So again, I want to say a very big thank you for joining us on today's call. And again, to the ladies for joining today's session, I want to say a very big thank you for your active participation, for your contribution. I did see how the comment section was buzzing with so many amazing responses and all of that. So I want to say a very big thank you to you all. Please look out for the next community office hour that will be happening next month. Trust me, this is actually a tip of what happens right during our community office hour, where we have different speakers come on board, talk about different topics, right, from the technical side down to the non-technical side. So before I finally call it a wrap, I also wanted to say that we should please not forget to make a post on our LinkedIn, because again, how do you want to position yourself if you don't make that post on LinkedIn, if you don't make that post on Twitter? So you want to do that, you want to make that post after this call, tagging Secret Africa, as well as our guest speaker, Benita, which I just dropped the link, or rather Andrews, which you can just tag her on the post that you're making. I mean, she did mention that she's going to help us repost it, right? So again, thank you so much to everyone for your time, and do look out for the next community office hour, for the next session. Have amazing evening, ladies, and do have a great time. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right.